Alright folks, this will probably be the last turkey load test until later on this late summer or early fall when turkey season comes back in. We're going to move on to some other things after this, but for today we're going to test some Winchester SuperX's. These are a 12 gauge load, a 3-inch 12 gauge load with an ounce and 7/8 of number 5 shot, moving at 1210 feet per second. So we're going to test it out of a couple different shotguns. We'll go up to the table and look at the guns, and then we will see what we get. Alright, so here we have the shotguns that we're going to be using to test this Winchester SuperX. We have the Remington 870 Super Mag, a 12 gauge with a 3.5-inch chamber, and it has a 28-inch barrel with a Kicks 665 choke on it. And today we've gotten out the Browning BPS. That's the other shotgun that we'll use for this. It has a 26-inch barrel with a Kicks 660 choke on it. So let's take these two shotguns down to the range and see what we get out of this Winchester SuperX. I have here my Remington 870 Super Mag. It has a Kicks 665 choke on it, 28-inch barrel. And we're going to test this shot at a turkey target down at 30 yards. So here we go. Alright, let's see how we did. Here we have the turkey target for the Winchester SuperX's. They're a 3-inch turkey load. I have a 12 gauge with an ounce and 7/8 of number 5 shot, and they're moving at 1210 feet per second. Now, there should be about 320 pellets in that load. And there's only 50 of them on this turkey. We see that the load is shifted this way. And this is a shot out of the Remington 870. 50 pellets out of that Remington 870 with that 665 choke out of 320 pellets in the total load. Less than 20% of the load at 30 yards. That's not a turkey load. So I wouldn't use it. So I would not use the Winchester SuperX's with the Remington 870 with the Kick 665 choke. The combination just doesn't seem to work. Hey folks, so we're continuing testing our Winchester SuperX, and we're going to test it out of our Browning BPS. It has a 26-inch barrel with a Kicks 660 choke on it, and we have a turkey target down 30 yards. So let's see what happens. I like that. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright folks, here we have the turkey target that we shot out of the Browning BPS with the Kicks 660 choke using the Winchester SuperX's. It's a 3-inch 12 gauge load with an ounce and 7/8 of shot, number 5 shot, moving at 1210 feet per second. And that load should have about 320 pellets in it. And I lost count at 100 right here. So we have at least a third of the load in this turkey at 30 yards. And that's surprising because with the Remington 870 using the 665 choke, we got less than 50 in the turkey. So the Browning BPS using the Kicks 660 choke with the Winchester SuperX's makes a fine turkey load. Alright, so here we have the targets back of the table for the Winchester SuperX 12 gauge. These are 3-inch shells with 1 ounce and 7/8 of 5s moving at 1210 feet per second. So normally when I do this I shoot multiple targets, but in the case of these videos I only ever show the first one because the first one's normally the best. Well, here the 870 did so bad that I have shot 2 targets and I'm showing 2 targets. So we have here's the first 870 target. It has less than 20% of the load in it, and you see this pronounced shift to the right. Here's the second Remington 870 target. It's a little bit better, closer to 25%, but it still has this pronounced shift to the right, which that's the combination of the shotgun, the choke, and the load. That's not shooter induced. That's definitely the shotgun. Because here we come over here to the Browning BPS, which did far better. We have about 1/3 of the load in this turkey. And the second one was just as good. About 1/3 of the load in the turkey. But even here, we have a good grouping to the right of the turkey, just like we did in the 870. But like I said down to target, I would not use these with the 870 Super Magnum, the Kick 665 choke. It's just not a good combination. The Browning BPS with the Kick 660 choke, it's a far better combination. And being that these are 3-inch shells, and this is a 3-inch shotgun, and being that it's lighter than the Remington 870 Super Magnum anyway, I would carry that particular shotgun with that choke with this load. Well folks, I gotta say the Winchester SuperX's disappointed me in the 870. They didn't do worth a darn in the 870 out of that 665 choke. Now that BPS with that 6660 choke, they did amazing. So that goes to show that you have to shoot your turkey loads. You have to shoot any shotgun load. You need to pattern any load that you're going to use using the gun and the choke that you intend to use, because you might get surprised. I would have thought these number 5s would have done well out of the Remington 870, because number 5s generally do well out of that Remington 870, but they did not. So it just goes to show that you do need to shoot your loads. You don't just need to go to the store and pick up a box of loads and then go hunting. Go get the loads, bring them back to the house or to the target range and pattern them and see what you get. So until next time, y'all stay safe in the turkey woods, and God bless.